Hey everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be looking at a literature aspect from the genre of poetry, persona, stroke speaking voice, stroke speaker versus the poet, poetess, or writer. I'm choosing to discuss this today because it causes a lot of confusion for many literary scholars and people who are interested in poetry at large. But today I will be giving you some clues, an easy way which you can use to identify or to differentiate the persona, the speaking voice, from the poet. Now, I want you to look at these two emojis, the first one on the left and then that on the right. Whenever you are asked about any element in regards to the persona or speaker or speaking voice, I want you to think about the emoji on the left, the tiny yellow face with its mouth wide open. And if you're asked about the writer or poet or poetess, think about the hand. So why am I saying this? Because you usually have to differentiate between the speaker and the poet or writer with just one piece of poem written down on paper. So oftentimes there's no audio, so you just have to make the differentiation using your imagination. But whenever you're thinking about persona, think about the voice. What voice do you hear when you read this poem? What comes to your mind? And that emoji should come to your mind. The voice of the person that is ringing in your head as you read this poem. And on the other hand, when you ask for about the poet or poetess, the writer, who is the person that brought this piece to life? Who wrote it down on paper? So you think about the hand. So the person who brought the piece to life, the individual, is the writer or the poet or the poetess, and their name is usually at the end of the poem. Now let us look at this example of a poem that we have right here, Lost in Saving. I was born with a relentless spirit, out to save everyone except me. Over time, I've come to find myself lost on the way to finding others. Well, I did, but you might not. So stop. Stop trying to find other people at the expense of yourself. There is only one man who did that. Even him, people nailed. Now you can see from this poem, if asked who is the poet or poetess or writer, the name is right below. Patricia Nalbega or Nalbega Patricia, depending on how you say it. But when asked for the persona or the speaker, the speaking voice, first you should start by recognizing that it is a first person, be identifiable by the use of I. But you can also continue to say the speaker is a first person, singular, and is a reminiscing woman or man or boy, telling us, warning us about the dangers of choosing other people's sanity over your own. So you can see that from this poem, the poet or the writer is right below at the end of the poem. The name of the poet is right there. But when it comes to the speaker, you have to use your imagination when you read the poem. The voice of the person, whose voice did you hear? Did you hear a crying baby? Did you hear a mother in pain? Did you hear a boastful, boastful boss, or a disobedient child? So in this case, it's just someone who is reminiscing, someone who is looking back at the times when they chose people over themselves, when they chose other people's sanity over their own, when they chose saving others instead of saving self. So, so for the speaker, once again, it's just you have to use your imagination. It's not going to be there in plain white, but you have to use your imagination when you read the poem. It takes a little more than it does to identify the writer. So thank you for listening. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and comment. I hope you have benefited. Have a nice time.